Welcome back, everybody. The History Guy here. You won't see me on the screen today as a continuing part of the process of moving. I've currently got some of the things in my little man cave down here kind of packed up and in the way, and I just don't really have anywhere to put my green screen. So I just have to go back to the good old days of just my voice as we continue on playing in Banished. So this is episode 4. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure how much further I'm going to go with this because, at least on the vanilla mode, there's really not a whole lot to do except just expand and keep doing what I'm doing, and it gets a little repetitive, and while that's fun to play, not necessarily fun to watch. So we'll kind of see what happens in this episode, but what I may decide to do after this is go ahead and switch over to playing with some of the really great mods that are out there. This is a very moddable game. So there are a lot of great mods out there, so maybe I can kind of show you some of that and show you some of the real variety that this game has to offer. Because it seems like there's a lot of folks that are watching this and find themselves getting intrigued and possibly considering purchasing the game. And so I want to give you a little bit more of a view of what all it has to offer. So that's probably what I'll do, but we'll kind of play it by ear and see what happens. So we're into the into the early autumn of year 13 of the colony, and just looking at kind of the overview, we've got 13 families now, 41 citizens, 24 are adults, 5 are now students, and 12 children. So I seem to have enough of everything to kind of get me by for the time being. This looks like, did my blacksmith max out on tools? No, that's the tailor. We've maxed out, so we're actually going to raise that clothes limit to 150. So as long as there's leather out there to be made into clothes, we're going to let our tailor keep making those. And then we can put him to work doing something else when the time comes. And it looks like just as I said that, our tailor ran out of leather. So we'll go ahead and just drop the tailor out of that and continue kind of the process of switching back and forth as conditions warrant. We still are very lucky, 13 years in, and not a single person has died. So we're going to go ahead and, obviously it's late autumn, so nothing's going to happen with this cherry field right now, but we'll eventually get to the place where we will be planting cherry trees here. So you can see it looks like some of the pecan trees have been cut down, and they're starting to grow some new ones. That's a pretty normal thing that happens. I'm going to go ahead and do a remove resources, just to give my folks like farmers something to do when they're sitting around during a time when there's no harvest. Plus it replenishes some of my resources. It'll build up the stone a little bit, build my logs back up, which are actually still really good. Lots of food available at the moment. Let's look at the inventory. We've got 2,000 wheat and about 1,600 corn, so we're going to go ahead and swap our farmland back over to corn, and we'll just keep flip-flopping, keep a steady supply of both of those. Want to make sure that I do that during the winter so that it's in between planting seasons so it doesn't affect what's already being done. Obviously I got way more food than I know what to do with. I think we'll cut down on one of our hunters for now and go back over to mining. Got 138 coal, so lots of coal right now. Lots of tools. Honestly, lots of everything. I've even got... I can probably start bringing some steel. I've already got 60 steel tools there, so I've got a lot that I can trade with. So honestly, my colony's thriving. The only thing I really need are just more people. So I keep hoping that some of those nomads will show up. Alright, so we're going to wait for the trader to come once again and hopefully get some more things going. We've got our tiny little cherry trees starting to blossom. We've also got more clear space up here. I'm actually going to go ahead and, just because I can, I'm going to go ahead and build a What am I looking for? Houses. I'm going to build a stone house up here. Just because maybe some of our folks would like to live a little closer to where they work. And not have to walk all the way over there. So, plus it gives me something to do with my builders. Alright, we're down to 139 firewood, so I'm going to go ahead and get the woodcutter going again, just to make sure that that doesn't drop too far. We're now up to 7 students and 11 children, so hopefully eventually some of these students are going to start graduating into the workforce. Obviously, if I did not have a school, that'd be 7 more people that would be in the workforce. My education had dropped all the way down to, I think, 42%, and it looks like it's still bottomed out. I guess we have to wait until they actually kind of like graduate from school in order for that to change. So then hopefully that education number will start rising again once folks get out of school. Where's my school? Right there. So I guess I can't really look at who the students are, at least not on that. I wish I could get some nomads to show up. And I still have very few products that I've acquired. So I gotta hope that the traders start bringing some of these things. If and when the trader decides to come. Kind of wish I could fast forward a little more than 10. Because obviously 10's not fast enough right now. There's our corn harvest going nicely. Pecans once again. I may have to raise the food limit because I think I might go over 6,000 in the next harvest. Our builder's slowly but surely working on these new houses. Obviously with just one builder it's going to take a little bit of time. I probably should have put another stockpile up here. I think this is the longest I've ever gone in the game without somebody dying. I probably should knock on wood or something. Just because I know that the minute I say that, somebody's probably going to die. But it hasn't happened so far. Oh, there's our trader. Perfect. Let's see what he has to offer me today. Hopefully something good. Wool coats. Yeah, that doesn't really do me a lot of good. But I'll buy them just because I don't have any. But that's only 8, so it doesn't really get me very far. Yeah, we're overpaying a little, so let's drop this down. 72. There we go. Trade. Do you have anything else of use for me? Not really. I guess bring me some more wool coats. Bring me some wool. I'll make my own. And ale, and eventually I'll deal with that. Alright. Be gone, you worthless trader. Every time I say trader, T-R-A-D-E-R, I think of traitors, T-R-A-I-T-O-Rs. Obviously there's none of that in this game. That would make this game a lot more interesting. If you had to build an army and defend yourself and things like that, I guess that would definitely add a lot more variety to what's happening here. But as it stands, not a lot going on. I guess once we get these houses built, maybe we'll look at bringing ale to the people, even though their average happiness is actually quite good. But it can always be better, right? I myself am not a drinker, but I know that is something that's important to many of my villagers. So we'll go ahead and get the tavern going. We've got another laborer finally. Let's see if that was somebody who was in school. And if so, if that raised up my education. It did ever so slightly raise my education level back up from where it was. From 43 to 44%. Woo! Exciting. I do have 42 citizens now. And we're into the early winter of 14. Production-wise, I just want to look and see. We're still producing way more food than we need. And folks are just going down and cutting down random supplies just because they can. We've got one house done. We're starting to work on the second one. And then we'll get the tavern going. Now, I would very much like some livestock of some kind. I desperately need that. Now, there's a way you can get that from the beginning, and that's to start on easy. When you start on easy, you start with more people, and you actually start with some livestock. So I certainly could have done that, but I wanted a little more of a challenge, which I guess it's still not too much of a challenge. Alright, our tavern is coming along nicely. We're just waiting on the builders to get over there and build it, which I guess they will as soon as the house is done. And maybe another year or two, and our cherry orchards should start producing cherries, which would be fantastic because we'll have more food that we don't need. Alright, our woodcutter's maxed out, so we're going to go ahead and assign him for now over to finishing the building of the tavern, and then we'll have to assign somebody to actually be our barkeep. Here we go. All right, we have ourselves a tavern. Oh, we have to be able to produce the ale. So I guess we're going to make some wheat ale because we have plenty of wheat. So that's the way we'll go for now. Go to it, good sir. Oh, I guess I need to have a brewer. There we go. Oh, you know what else we can build is we can go ahead and build a market, but I'm gonna have to tear down first to do that. So we're gonna remove the stockpile. There's plenty of room to put the stockpile stuff elsewhere, and then we're gonna go ahead and place ourselves a market here. I gotta remember where that is. I think it's over here somewhere. That's the trading post. Market. There we go. Oh, it's a little bigger. I should have left the. I should have just left the. Left that thing there, because now I got to put the market somewhere else, and I'm not sure where. I guess we could tear down some houses, because honestly, let's see. No. Even in that case, I still got to move some more things. So. Well, this kind of stinks because this means I have to put the market somewhere that's not real central. All right, you know what? I guess to make it interesting, because we've got plenty of resources available for things, we're going to start by relocating some of our families. So let's get some new homes going. Plus, this will give me a chance to upgrade because some people are still in wooden houses, and we certainly don't need those. So we're going to build 4 new homes, which obviously means I need some more builders. I want to get this moving quickly if I can. So I'm going to take all my miners out, get everybody building, and then we're going to do a order to tear down some of these other homes. We'll start with those 2, which require builders also. Now there's people saying, hey, we don't have a house. Well, you will, I promise. We are building them quickly. There we go. So we'll quickly have homes for everyone yet again, and then we'll continue the process of tearing down these other ones. Which gets me some resources with which to build the new ones. So it's actually going along nicely. We'll get these other ones built and get some new homes for all these folks. At least I'm doing it in the summer when homelessness is less of an urgent issue for folks. And then we'll be able to get the reserve of stone. Oh man, we're out of stone. Okay, let's go grab some stone. I'm going to have to go a little further for it this time. Guess maybe I should have just gone with wood houses. Alright, and then we'll be able to get ourselves a new market going. There we go. Perfect. Oh, I gotta tear down the road first. Okay. Remove roads. There we go. Alright, now we can place our market finally. Well, we can once the roads are removed. I've got more builders assigned than I need right now, but nobody's working on the roads. Can someone please remove that road so I don't have to come back out and do this again? Alright, I guess not. Alright. I still got plenty of herbs. I'm not going to worry about an herbalist right now. I guess we'll go ahead and put people back in the mines. Can somebody please remove those roads for me? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? I guess they're all gathering the stone that I asked them to gather. Hey, we're up to a child named Christ was born with a K. And another child named Arid was born. We're up to, wow, how many? 46 people in our village now. It's growing faster. And I imagine that'll happen exponentially. Obviously, as you have more families, more people will be reproducing at once. Lots of children. We've had 4 children born in the early autumn of the year 15. And yet no one seems able to go clear the road for me so I can build my market. Is this a priority to anyone? Anyone at all? They're all going everywhere and doing everything. Maybe once the harvest is complete. Hey, finally. Awesome. Thank you. And there we go. Now we'll get some builders going on that. How's the tavern coming? We've got 40-some ale in the tavern. Folks will start getting drunk. Whoa! What just happened? Oh my goodness. We lost someone. Garniston, the teacher, died during childbirth. Oh man. And why do we suddenly have 9 laborers? What happened there? Oh, because we don't have a teacher. Everybody hit the workforce. Okay. So let's go ahead and assign somebody to be our new teacher. And we have our first death at last. One of our graves is now being used. And there's someone mourning. Who is that that's mourning? So that's Christ. He was just born. He's 0 years old, but he managed to walk over and mourn at the cemetery. So that's kind of interesting. Alright, so we're down to just 36 firewood. So obviously we need to, once again, have a woodcutter going at that. And we also have a merchant at the trading post. Please have something good. Apple seeds. Do I need apple seeds? Orchard. Cherry and pecans. Yes, we will take apples. I really just would love some livestock, though. But we're going to... 3,000. This isn't going to be easy to come up with. I'm actually going to need some things I don't already have. So we're going to have to raise the inventory up here. Do I have somebody working as a trader? Yes. Okay. So, what can we add? Okay, we're out of iron tools, obviously, because there aren't any more being made. How about some venison? I don't know if he'll even want to trade for that. Maybe a little coal. Maybe some hide coats. I guess we'll see. It's going to be expensive to have to come up with all of that. Let me see what I've got available to me right now. I haven't even gathered up any tools yet. Here we go. So steel tools are worth 10, so that'll give me 1,000. So I'm getting close. I just need another 765 worth of things. I could get... actually, I've got 300 tools, so that maybe that's the place to get them. Let's just go all steel tools all the time. All right. So let's gather some of those up. Let's get somebody else working as traders so we can make that happen a little faster. And we will see what's up. All right, pause for just a second here. So we're up to 250 steel tools. That'll get me most of what I need financially. We'll trade a little iron. Actually, we're there. Okay, perfect. All right, these are worth 2 each, so we need to go 13. There we go. All right, perfect. Now, real quick, I need to tell him don't get another 300 steel tools or I will be out of them. So let's go 40. All right, perfect. Let's place an order. I guess we already have an order placed. We don't need apple seeds anymore. We do need chestnut because we don't have that. We've got corn, we've got cherry, we've got wheat, we've got pecans. So we'll tell them to send us everything else on top of that. Perfect. All right, thank you, sir. You have been helpful. Now we need to go ahead and build another orchard. This one will be apples. We're going to need some more farmers. Obviously, all of our students that left school without an education because our teacher died are now going into the workforce, which I kind of needed, so I guess we'll be okay that way. Now we need a vendor to start working there. Maybe we'll have 2 vendors. Now, one's probably plenty for now. All right, so now we're at 47 people in our colony. That's looking good. Decent amount of food still. Coal's getting a little low, but we'll start bringing that back up now. And as always, I turned off one of my... There it is. Now that we got some miners going back at the coal, that should build back up. Just about out of iron now, so we may actually need to switch this over and start mining for iron instead for a little while. And almost out of firewood, so once again, the woodcutter. Woodcutter's actually going still, so those are just the little micromanaging things you got to do to make sure that you're making the best use of all the people that you have. I don't need builders. You can see that the market, they kind of gather all the different food and things like that. Next year we'll go back to wheat. I may actually be out of wheat because we're using wheat for the... yeah, he's out of wheat to make ale. So we're actually going to switch over to cherries. So we're producing cherries now. So we'll make some cherry ale. Wonder what cherry ale tastes like. I've never had it before. And as soon as this harvest is completed, we'll switch that back over to wheat. All right, so we're in the early summer of 16. Just about out of coats, so we've got to put a tailor back to work. And actually, let me take a look real quick, because I think some of these things that I'm running low on, I've actually got in inventory here. It's just a matter of sending them back. There we go. And then I can always go gather those up again when I need to. All right, we're starting to get students once again. Are we not gathering cherries yet? We will be. So once we gather some cherries, then our barkeep will once again be able to do that. Start making some cherry ale. Got 10 farmers working now, which is probably more than I need, but I always want to stay a step ahead on the food issue and never get myself in a situation where I start to run low, because it can take a while to get back up to that if you fall behind. All right, everything's looking good here in year 16 now. And with a couple of children being born, yet again, we're up to, let's see, 35, 48. Well, another child was born, Amira, which is interesting. I have a niece named Amira, which is only one letter different from that. All right, so we'll probably take this another year or so and see where things stand, and then I'll kind of decide whether or not we want to keep going with this or switch it up and start looking at some mods and what there is available with those. Just to show you a little bit more of the variety of this game. All right, bring in those cherries. Let's start making some cherry ale. There we go. Hopefully that'll bring everyone's happiness back up. Plenty of everything. Got a nice thriving village going on. And here comes a trader. Alrighty, sir, what do you have to offer me? Cattle! Yes, at last! Oh, there are 6 of them, and we're going to take them all for sure. And then they'll multiply, hopefully. So now, once again, let's start gathering up. What can I sell for this cattle? What will he take? He's not going to take food. So it's going to have to be other products, which means I'm going to have to wipe myself out of some things. But that's totally fine. So let's start with steel tools. We've got, we can expend. So there's 2,000. That's half of what I need to get me where I need to be. What else can I get that he'll take? He won't take herbs. He won't take any kind of food. So coal, stone, logs. Logs aren't worth much. I don't have a lot of coal sitting around, unfortunately. I don't even have a lot of stone. So this might get interesting. I might not be able to buy 6 cattle. I might have to settle for less. Get a few hide coats going. Maybe some ale. I don't know if he'll take ale or not, but we'll give it a try. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. Alright, I gotta pause for just a second. Alright, we're back to it. Duty calls as a dad. My soon-to-be teenage daughter was done early from her honors choir practice and needed to talk to me about going to a friend's house, all that fun stuff that I know many of you deal with. So I went ahead and bought 5 cattle. We can actually go ahead and dismiss this person now. And then, of course, once again, I need to go ahead and make some changes to the inventory so I don't end up with a situation where I don't have any tools left. So we'll deal with that, and then I'm out of coal. So I'm going to have to go ahead. we've got 115 stored iron, so at least for now we can go back to coal. We'll have to kind of swap between the two. I also need to go ahead now and build somewhere for the livestock. And I'm kind of running out of room in my farming area, but I think we could probably go right there. So I think we'll do that and then kind of wrap up this episode. So we'll build a nice little pasture right here. Hopefully that'll be plenty big enough. We'll go a little bigger just because I want to have some room for growth with the livestock. Because they'll multiply, and then I'll be able to, once they hit their max number, then they'll start slaughtering the excess for beef. So we'll get ourselves here into the year 17 and wrap things up for this episode. So mostly all the things I wanted to do in this episode I was actually able to do. Got some more variety with the food. I've got ale being produced now. Looks like I've got a decent amount of wood, so we can stop that again for the time being. And finally got some livestock, which you will see appear here just as soon as I can get this built and assign some more farmers. I guess we don't need to assign any more farmers until after we choose cattle. Oh, we need herdsmen. Perfect. Okay. So we can have up to 11. So we're going to get the 5 that we have put in there. And then we'll start building some more. We're going to have a reserve of stone is going to be low. But that's a good place to stop. So as always, I welcome your input, your questions, your comments. If there's anything you'd like me to show you about the game or you have questions, I'd be glad to address those. But otherwise, I'm going to think long and hard about whether or not I want to continue with this particular village or just start something new with a little more variety by using some more mods. So if you've played the game and you know of a great mod that maybe I should showcase, let me know in the comment section below. If you want me to just keep going with this current village, let me know that as well. I want to do what folks want to see. So thanks for watching, and we will see you again real soon.